Welcome to week 11 of the How to Live by Design in 90 Days challenge. Now in the penultimate week, I'd love to talk about pleasure and pain. Yes, that's right. Nothing XXX rated here, but it's one of the best coaching models that I use one-on-one with clients to help clients get through and burst through barriers and to get past procrastination. And so I thought you'd find it really useful at this stage in the challenge if you're still getting stuck on a few action items. Now, what is pleasure and pain and the pain versus pleasure model all about? Well, it's built on this premise that we do more to avoid pain than we do to gain pleasure. And so, if you're in week 11 of the challenge, and you're struggling with procrastination on certain actions, then this model may give you some answers to how to get beyond that. Because if we understand the role of emotions, of pain and pleasure in our everyday decision making, then we may have greater control over those decisions and moving forward. It means that you can take these extremes and make them work for you as opposed to against you. And so if this is of interest to you, let's have a look at how we can put this model to great benefit in our lives to move forward. Now I thought the easiest way of describing the pain versus pleasure coexistence is by a couple of quick examples. So let's talk about number one, a trip to the dentist. Yes, even the mere mention of it just brings fear and dread, doesn't it? Well, so many. If you're like me, then a trip to the dentist means no fun at all. How could it? Making an appointment is painful in itself, usually months in advance. I know that's the experience that I go through. And then there's the thought of actually going to the dentist. What's the upside? There's a high likelihood of bad news that your teeth are rotten, and you might need a filling or some root canal work. And then the best case scenario is that you'll get good advice as to eating less sweets and eating less chocolates. Well, that's not good news. And then of course there's the drilling. Oh, the sound and the noise of the drilling. It is just nightmare material. And so the perceived pain of going to see a dentist is just horrendous, that it outweighs the benefits or the pleasure of walking out with cleaner, brighter, whiter and healthier teeth. And you almost forget about the upside because the downside we just associate so much pain to. And then there's the other extreme. Let's talk about when the opposite happens. So we have a goal of losing some weight. And then it happens. That chocolate bar is staring at us in the face. What are we thinking of in that moment? The pleasure of the taste sensation of having that chocolate bar seems to outweigh the pain around remaining at this weight just that day longer. How often have we said to ourselves, the diet starts tomorrow? Well, in this case, it's not actually the pleasure of the chocolate bar and the taste that makes the difference. It's the pain we associate to missing out on that sensation. So missing out on that sensation, we put as a higher pain threshold than the pain of not getting ahead with our weight loss today. And so these are the extremes that we need to play with. The battles between pleasure and pain we play out in our heads all the time over almost every single decision. Should I eat that or not? Should I ring him or her or not? Should I buy that or not? So what's driving our behavior is really instinctive reactions to pleasure and pain. And we know that it doesn't always necessarily mean a logical decision as a consequence. The truth is, it's not even pain that drives us, but the fear that something will lead to pain. So this week, if we're still procrastinating on something that's vital important, let's put the model to the test. Your worksheets this week highlight 5 questions to be completed. And if you're being really honest with yourself, you may uncover what's really behind your lack of action, and then you can choose to do something different about it or not. The questions are simply as follows. What actions have I been procrastinating on? What fear or pain have I attached to taking this action? What has been the benefit or pleasure of indulging in this negative pattern? What will it cost me if I don't change? And what pleasure will I receive by taking this action right now? If every action we take is linked to pleasure and pain, then the secret is to link enough pleasure and enough pain to whatever it is to get the result that we want. For example, if equating eating one chocolate bar to the possibility of not living long enough to see your grandchildren, well, that is lifting the pain threshold, and that pain may outweigh the pain of missing out on that taste sensation right now. Or if we link more pain to having rotten teeth at our 20th year reunion, school reunion, and that pain is a lot more significant than the pain of the drilling sound, well then all of a sudden making the effort to go to the dentist once or twice a year may not be as difficult. So it's all about giving yourself the best chance to succeed. And so this week, have a really strong look at what you're putting or linking pain and pleasure to right now, and what changes do you need to make. Have an inspiring week. I look forward to talking to you for the final time next week in the How to Live by Design Challenge. Speak then.